Buckle up for Skip versus Ernestine round 19, brought to you by FanDuel, the nation's #1 sports book. Yep, we're still together after 19 rounds.
Of knowing each other. Yeah, 19 rounds of knowing each other.
I don't know. Maybe this show is saving our marriage because maybe for us, this is counseling without a counselor, therapy without a shrink. I don't know. Look, we do bicker a lot.
I don't think so.
But we do love each other a lot. Now say I don't think so.
I don't think so. No, I do.
Okay.
But I don't think we bicker a lot, but...
We're about to get to that. By the way, she's Ernestine from New York City. I'm Skip from Oklahoma City.
It's true.
Which is better than New York City,
right,
but that's another debate for another day. This is Hazel licking my hand from Burbank, California. She's a Valley girl, not Burbank City.
No.
Speaking of Hazel, she had a rough week this past week. I'm going to let you tell the story, but her groomer is named Mary, who does love Hazel, loves her so much she wants to get a Maltese. Hazel is an 8-year-old Maltese. So what happened?
I brought her down to get groomed to Mary. She understands when I say the word, so she doesn't like the word because she doesn't want to get groomed.
Yeah.
She doesn't want to get massaged.
She seems to hate it, but it's like going to the spa.
I wish I was going to the spa. And when I picked her up, Mary said, she bit me. I said, what? She said, she bit me. I went to touch by her ear, and she didn't like that, and she actually bit me. I said...
Because her ear was
tender than usual. Or something. Yeah, I don't know. And I said, did she break your skin? She said, oh, yeah. And she showed me the picture. Her finger had blood on it. So she said, but it's okay. I get bit by dogs all the time.
Okay, so we have told you before, this one is a natural-born biter.
Yeah, she is.
She will bite her when she wants to leave, just to keep her. I know, thank you.
She bites me all the time.
Yeah, and she will
grabs my foot.
She will draw blood
calf.
on her leg anywhere. She shows me these red spots. Yeah. Where she'll just jump and grab.
For a reason. It's not that she just gets up in the middle of the day and bites you. If you're leaving the house and she doesn't want me to leave because you don't want me to leave her. So she goes and she'll grab onto my leg to not let me leave, but she's biting me.
This dog is the all-time Jekyll Hyde dog because she can be the sweetest dog in the world. Mary loves her to death.
Yeah, she loves her.
But when she flips, when she snaps,
she's a
literally
nut.
She is a demon. She's hard to handle because she's very athletic, and I know she looks small, but she doesn't play small. No. She plays big. She's very hard to control when she's crazed, when she's angry.
She's reeling and riling and rocking.
So from day one with her, she was supposed to be her dog.
Right.
I started playing with this little fur ball Hazel when she was, how old was we? Was she when we got her?
6 weeks.
6 weeks. So right away, I'd have her on the couch, and I would playfully fight with her, and she seemed to like it.
She likes fighting.
And the bigger she grew and the stronger she grew, we would start to get more and more physical with each other. But she learned from the start, I can't clamp bite. No. I can't draw blood.
You can play with her and she won't bite you.
And she gets it because she's very smart. Mm-hmm. People who get to know her say she's very smart. Oh, she's high IQ. Yeah. She's very sort of crafty, wily smart.
Oh, she gets it. She sees it all.
She understood from the start that I can really... we've shown some video of her on the bed. I'll just fight with her on the bed, and she will go crazy.
Yeah.
And she'll snap at me, but she knows not to clamp, bite, not to break
because she's having fun. But when she knows that I'm leaving or you're leaving, then it's a whole different thing.
That's a whole nother thing.
Yeah,
but she won't try to bite me to hold on to me because she's a little more afraid of me than of you.
Yeah.
And yet, we try to tell people when we walk her on Saturday at the mall, I know, see, she's very sweet.
No, she's sweet.
That she doesn't like little kids. If little kids run up to her because they think she's so pretty and she's Snow White,
running.
She doesn't like anybody running. She will bite. She will attack. She will attack German Shepherds. She will attack pit bulls. Obviously, she wouldn't last long with a German Shepherd or a pit bull, I wouldn't think, but she would take her pound of flesh.
She doesn't know her size.
Yeah, she doesn't know.
Well, that's okay.
And she looks very sweet right now, and she's just not. But
it's okay.
Ernestine, in the gated community we live in, we have some squirrels. I think
well, I don't know what they
think they eliminate the squirrels.
We started out with a lot of squirrels in the complex, and now we're down to maybe 2 or 3.
Some people hate them and call them rat-like in our community.
People are terrible.
And we're afraid that they poison
I don't know.
squirrels.
I don't even want to think about that.
But she has some.
But I have like 2 or 3 that are still left, and they know me. And they know my voice, and they know when I get into my car, they know when I walk.
They're actually very smart.
They come out and they wait for me.
Because you're going to feed them.
Yeah, but they come out. Yeah, I'm going to feed them, but they know me more than anyone in this complex. And where I park my car, there are little bars where I put my car, and then there's bars to get out of a gate. And they'll come and they'll wait for me through the bar, and they look for me through the bar.
They love you.
And they sit at my foot, and they listen to me talk to them. And I got a whole list of them.
Meanwhile, she's going peanut.
No, I give them. Well, there's one called Almond. And I call him Almond because he doesn't like any of the other nuts. So I realized when I gave him the filbert nut, he just smelled it and he walked away. But I gave him an almond, and he loves almonds. So I call him Almond. And then there's the lip, because he's got a little thing on his lip. And then there's the 3.5 leg one. He's got a short leg. I don't know if he was born that way, but he's okay. He's got a half of a leg, and he eats it. And then there's Red, Big Red. And then there's Sammy, Not sure they're all still with us, but... No, well, 2 or 3 of them with us.
So here's the damnedest thing about her. Speaking of hazelnuts, she is a hazelnut.
Yeah.
So we found right away that when we walk her in the complex, the squirrels started running up. They'll come right up
to within a foot.
They think
she's a friend or something.
And she is the only dog I've ever known who didn't want to kill a squirrel.
No, she likes
them. As much of a terror as she is with humans, she's just, it's not that she loves them, she just kind of zones them out.
She likes
just
them.
sniffs
They
at
come
them.
up to her, they look at her.
The squirrels come right up and say, "Hi, Hazel."
They like her. And sometimes they forget, and they look to her like, "Are you going to give me a nut?" And she's looking at them like, "I don't have any nuts." She's got the nuts.
And if they get spooked and run away, Hazel will jump on the nuts and take the nuts.
Hazel loves the nuts. So anyway, we're all nuts.
So we feel terrible that she bit her groomer, Mary.
Yeah, but she's okay.
She knows. Lady.
She's gotten bit so many times, she told me, but it's not like an ongoing thing with her.
So this quick discussion leads to a quick question. This is Rome from Toronto, Canada.
I love
They're
Toronto.
From everywhere. So
I love Toronto.
Why do you think Hazel reacts / barks every time someone moves? Well, because she's not rational.
She doesn't want anybody else except me and Skip.
She has a screw loose, and our producer Tyler, who's sitting not too far away, has to sit dead still during our taping, because if he moves, if he dares to get up to go to the bathroom, she wants to go get him.
She says, "Get out."
Yeah.
No one's allowed in here except me and Skip and my sister.
That is correct.
My sister comes to visit.
Yeah.
But she doesn't like movement.
She is a great watchdog, and I'll say it one more time. Her mission in life is to protect her, not me, her. Well, and she would die for your cause. She just
loves
would.
You a whole lot.
She does, but it's different. It's you feed her. You're the mom.
Yeah.
You know. I'm her
brother. Brother from another mother.
That is true. That's exactly what I am. Okay, next question. This is Aiden from Los Angeles. We're out here in LA as we speak. Do you have any pre-show rituals? Anything you feel like you have to do right before you start taping?
He's the king.
Here we go.
Every single time we're about to sit to start, he has to clear his voice, but he does that.
That wasn't it.
Well, it's loud and strong. Yeah, in my ear. And there are times where he just deafens me in my ear, and I say, "What are you doing?" And we've got bloopers of him doing it and me just hitting him like, "Ow!" He just deafens my ear. I don't have any pre-show rituals. I don't do anything. I have a lipstick. I have lipsticks. That's it. I don't do anything. I usually hold a pen, but that's it.
My pre-show ritual is to blow your ear out.
Yeah, blow my ear out.
Just for fun, because I like to irritate you. And get you in a sort of pissy mood for the show.
Yeah, that's why.
Does.
Now
Thank
I know
you,
the rationale.
You know how to play the game, don't you? Yeah.
Psycho.
But
You're a
her
psycho
pre-show
as she is.
ritual is I always take her out to pee right before we
Yeah,
tape
she
because
has to.
she doesn't want to have to sit
No.
on her pee the
No.
whole
No.
show, right?
Horrible.
Right. It would be
Yeah.
horrible.
So
Excuse me.
I'm going to tell you, that's ending, not happening anymore.
Yeah. By the way, we would like to welcome Omaha Steaks to Skip versus Ernestine. You can bring home the world's best steak experience with Omaha Steaks. And by the way, Miss Ernestine, you have been a patron of Omaha Steaks for many years.
My mother and my sister, they are the biggest. Well, my mom's not here anymore, but my mom loved Omaha Steaks and my sister, and we would buy them. I would buy them for them as treats, and they would put them on the barbecue and the sirloin burgers. And then we started buying our friends in Oklahoma City, Bev and Craig, every holiday, every birthday, whatever. They loved Omaha Steaks, so we would buy them and ship them out there. And then they would take pictures and send it to us of them cooking the steaks.
They would respond with, "We just barbecued your whatever we sent to them."
Yes. Steaks, burgers. They were, so they were.
So you can visit omahasteaks.com for 50% off site-wide. This is during the spring savings event. And for an extra $30 off, use promo code SKIP at checkout. That's 50% off at omahasteaks.com and an extra $30 off with promo code SKIP at checkout. See site for details.
That's really good. I paid full price.
So did I.
Yeah.
Worth it. Now let's get serious for a moment. This is Jake from Santa Barbara, California, who says, fighting is always a theme of the show.
No, it's not.
Well, it is called Skip versus Ernestine.
Yeah,
okay?
but okay.
Have you ever thought of either working together or with someone to help with this constant fighting? Because fighting daily sounds draining.
It's not fighting. See, I don't see this as fighting. I see it as living with someone. I don't know how other people live with someone without. There's no way, I believe in my heart, that two people live together in a house, in an apartment, in a whatever, RV, and they don't end up having, I don't know, it's not even fighting. It's just like differences. It's just called life. I have them with my sister all the time. It's just part of life. I don't know anybody, unless you live in a Father Knows Best world, which was an old 50s TV show that people wanted to live in that world, but it was, again, for TV and nothing was real. There is no such thing as 100% harmony all the time with somebody. I find it impossible. And it's Skip versus Ernestine. That could be debating. It's not fighting. I mean, we're just talking about things that we go through every day of our life that other people, I'm sure, go through, but they just don't tell anybody because they're not with a camera.
My take on quote-unquote fighting is, my definition of fighting is extremely upside down different from your definition of what is fighting.
Okay.
Because to you, life is, to me, fighting. Okay, your life is fighting. You communicate through clashing. You constantly argue your point, even in casual conversation, to the point that I feel like you want to throw down and fight.
If you called my best friend Francesca, right now, I've known her for 20 years.
I know.
We have never had a fight
in our
life.
You're always on your best behavior. I hear some of the phone conversations.
We're very real together, but I don't live with Francesca.
Okay.
My sister and I are very close, so I know her like the back of my hand, and she knows me like the back of her hand. So we get each other, and we know everything. But I'm living with you. When you live with somebody, it's a whole different game. And it's not like, when you watch The Housewives of Beverly Hills, New York, Atlanta, wherever else there's a housewife.
Atlanta.
Those people, that's fake, number one. It's played just for reality TV. Mm-hmm. Back in the beginning, it wasn't fake. But then they started realizing they needed a script. So, the flipping of the tables and all of that, that's just to make, you
staged,
sucker you into watching, oh my God.
Scripted.
But
yeah,
this is just living with somebody is hard. It's not easy. I don't think it's easy.
It's the hardest thing in the world, can be the greatest thing in the world.
So I don't think it's fighting. If I say I don't want to watch a show and you want to watch a show, it's not fighting. But then again, you grew up in a different world. We come back to this thing again. You know, you grew up in a world that was non-fighting, you never bickered, you never had confrontations because your family was a wacko family.
They were a wacko family, but when you went at it, if somebody crossed the line and started a fight, it was a fight to the death. You people, and it could end your relationship with said family member.
Oh, okay. Again, the Jewish-Italian thing world I grew up in, people express emotion. That's what the difference is.
Trailer trash wasp.
Yeah, you don't express emotion. People out there that watch this, if they know, I don't know, Jewish, Italian, Irish, whatever you are, people are expressive. They have emotion. You grew up, your mother taught everybody, don't say anything, keep in this little world. I grew up with everybody in my neighborhood. They would yell, they would talk.
My mother's motto was her mother's motto, my grandmother's motto, which is never let the neighbors see you sweat. Never allow outside the closed doors what is happening inside the closed doors. Yeah, but your mother,
no offense to, hopefully she's happy wherever she is in this world, but you and I, we have visited your mom, and your mom would pick on you about how come you don't live in this perfect world of have a picket fence and a station wagon outside and you live.
Why don't you give me grandchildren?
How come you don't have grandkids? Yeah. She knew how to fight with you, but meanwhile she's telling everybody don't fight. So that was a whole bunch of bull.
She would pick at me.
She picked on you all the time. I was there. I would watch it. She definitely. But I think it's healthy to be expressive. I don't know. You do,
and I can't get used to your RPM because
and then you'll say to me, why are you yelling? And I say, I'm not yelling. It's just the way I speak.
Well, she's yelling.
But I don't yell. It's just the way I speak.
Okay.
You yell on camera, and then off camera, you're very mild. You're not like you are when you're dealing with sports. You're different.
Yeah.
You're more mild.
We've talked about that. I'm more withdrawn.
Right.
Yeah. It's my mother made me that way because she was extremely outgoing and a great public speaker was my mother. Yeah. And I got the public speaking from her, but she was so loud and so overbearing. Well,
she was boisterous.
And she would take over every elevator we were in. My son made straight A's, and it would really infuriate
kind of crass.
and offend me because she had nothing to do with me making straight A's because it wasn't like she supported me or cared that I made straight A's until she's telling somebody else about it. But with you, I've come to the conclusion that you can't communicate with me without what I call fighting. Like fighting is communication because your natural form of back and forth is to get confrontational.
It's disgusting.
And then it's just like disgusting. You're picking at me. You're picking at me.
No, you think
and then you raise your voice, and I'm like, it's not that big a deal. Just calm down. I've had a long day. I've been fighting on television all day. I've been fighting on my YouTube shows. I'm fighting windmills. Yeah. I'm fighting myself.
You have this RPM that is down. I could tell you again, I'm saying this again because I've said this before. I could tell you the house is burning. Really? I have a Lakers game I have to watch. How far is the flames coming in?
The Lakers are down 5 with a minute left. I wonder if LeBron can bring them back.
Right. Is the fire that close?
Yeah.
You don't, it doesn't ruffle you.
Yeah.
You have to learn how to be confrontational.
Why do you think she spends, when we're both at home on like a Sunday, and I'm working, prepping for all the shows, and you're in your office doing whatever you do, or you're seeing Joyce, your sister, whatever. Yeah. Why does she stay with me all day long?
Because she's locked in. You have her barricaded in.
My energy is much more serene.
Oh, your energy is surreal. When I hear you on the other side, when I hear you on the other side, when your team is losing, and I hear you on the other side of
football season.
So how could that be serene for her? She's got to put earplugs in her ears, yelling. I won't even say the words that you yell because you claim you don't curse or anything, but he does. Yelling at the other side of the house. That blah, blah, blah. What is wrong with him? And I call my sister, oh, God, he's flipping out again. And so this little thing, she's shaking in her boots in her little bed. She's not shaking.
She just
because she put
opens
earplugs
one eye
in.
and looks at me like,
she's got the earplugs in.
Yeah.
That's why she comes knocking. She's scraping on the door to me, and I'm thinking, do I hear? And I go, Hazel? And she runs in really fast, and she gets into her bed, and she's like, that's the truth.
This is like
that is the
verbal
truth.
abuse of the
please,
dog.
Please.
I don't like the term dog because she's actually
whatever.
human,
Okay.
but that's
all right.
another thing. She's getting a little sleepy here.
Okay. She's bored.
I just wish we could have more natural, normal, down-tone
good. I'd like to
conversations.
find somebody normal that I'm going to have that with. You're not
just
normal person.
Just a very easy, sweet give and take. Just a, hey,
how's
how
it
was your
going?
day today?
Hey, how many?
Well, my day, you won't believe. I gotta tell you. I gotta tell you.
Yeah. And then you're looking at your watch.
Wait,
how long is she talking?
It wasn't that bad. What are you talking about? It wasn't that bad. Do you realize? And all of a sudden, you're just like spilling all over me. It's not
normal with people. They express, man, I had a bad day, and you're sitting there. I've got 2 minutes. Can you wrap it up? That's what you tell me.
I know, but your story's gone forever.
Well,
sometimes you tell me a story.
I have a lot of details.
That's pretty mundane. It's pretty like run of the mill, and it goes on for 17 minutes. And I'm like, just get to the punchline. Just get there.
Okay, this is the last thing I'm going to say about this. Do you know what it's like to listen to? I come in and then you say to me, did you see that shot? No, I didn't see the shot. Okay, let me tell you what happened. Blah, 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 the shot, blah, blah, blah. And then it goes back into, when back in the 90s when I knew the coach, the blah, blah, blah. It's
I
like
stopped
days.
Doing that. I used to try that.
Days have passed.
But I just get stone-faced.
It's Talladega Nights again with the commercial. It's Talladega Nights. The commercial is going 3 days later.
Where the two cars are flipping over and over, and they go to commercial and they come back, and the two cars are still flipping down. Yeah,
that's your story with sports. How much can I understand? How much can I... After a while, I'm like, my soup is running over on the stove. Oh, okay. Finally, that's how I can get away.
Which is why I don't talk sports with her anymore. I used to try.
When is that starting?
I used to try.
This very minute? Tyler, write that down. He's not talking sports anymore as of this moment to me. That's the funniest.
Don't ask
That
Tyler
is
to
the
move or
funniest.
respond,
I've
or
got
we're gonna
19 years of sports in my head, and it's still going. Okay, today is the declaration.
All right, speaking of crises between us, we now have an in-home crisis. We suddenly have a mold problem. I didn't know anything about mold. I've never had a mold problem.
I never had a mold problem either.
Okay, and
I've lived in apartments all my life. I probably have had mold, but I didn't know.
Probably have, but we bought this place in the pandemic, 2020, so we've been here 5-ish years.
Is it that long?
I think so.
I don't know. It seems like
it was
yesterday.
in the throes of the pandemic.
Yeah, I broke my foot that time. Yeah, it was
terrible.
Yeah, it was bad.
Did I ever hear about that?
Yeah, hobbling with a brace on my foot, putting together a new place.
She did a good job. We had to move very quickly because we were actually leasing a place, and
people wanted it back.
They wanted to move back in all of a sudden, and we're like, uh-oh. So we love this complex, so we hurried.
The building next to us had a place open, which was this place, and some older woman lived here for 30 years. So we moved in, and she had a bar in the front when you walk in. There's a bar.
We're not drinkers, so we don't need the bar, but it's beautiful.
Yeah, it's a nice bar.
It looks nice.
But then there was a little refrigerator underneath the bar next to a sink. And I remember we moved in here, and I had, we cleaned the whole place, and the refrigerator was fine. And then from that day on, I never opened the refrigerator again
because we never used it.
I don't keep anything in it.
And somehow
until we realized 4 months ago, there was mold in that refrigerator. And then my job was to get it out.
But somehow the refrigerator, the little one, expanded.
Well, that's what we found out, because what happened was
recently popped a jar.
I called 1-800-JUNK to take it away, and the two guys came, and they were big guys, and they came, and it's a little college refrigerator. It's like a small, keep wine in it or something, and they could not pull it out. And the guy's like, I think it's bolted down. I'm like, that sounds weird. A refrigerator's bolted down. So then finally I called our electrician, who's a great guy, and he's a big guy. And I called him, I said, hey, can you come over and take the refrigerator away? He's like, yeah, I'll be there. Don't worry about it. As he said to us, how did I think 15 minutes was going to turn into 2 hours?
Yep.
He said it expanded over the time, and he could not get it out. And then finally, Skip helped him pull it out. And he had to cut the side of the wall to try to get the refrigerator out. And then it's a narrow little passageway behind the bar, and they tried to put it on a dolly to pull it out, and they had to unplug it. and it wouldn't get past the doorknobs. So then Mark had to take his screwdriver electric to undo the doorknobs, and before we could get it out, then he had to take the door off of the refrigerator. So it was like it was going bad.
And meanwhile, the mold spilled out.
Well, it was water. It was just refrigerator water.
Spilled out on the carpet.
Onto the carpet in front of the...
Could be sort of really bad
moldy.
Mold.
Yeah.
And so that's on the carpet. We got the refrigerator out. 1-800-JUNK did come back the next day and took it away.
Right. And then I called a mold guy. And right now we're waiting for the mold results. And he said it could be moderate. But then I called another mold guy who does the actual cleanup of the mold. This is all I've learned because I knew nothing about mold. And he said, do yourself a favor right now. Put a plastic or garbage bags, tape it so it just keeps it contained. So that's what I did. So that's how we're living. So we haven't really been spending a lot of time in the living room. But I'm waiting to hear back from the guy.
Okay, so she became Patty Panic during the pandemic because it was like everybody's got to wear a mask every second.
I never had COVID during the whole pandemic. I was the only one that did not get COVID.
Until you finally did.
Last August,
yep.
When I had two guys come in to clean the carpet, and I gave them masks. And then when I went to let them out of the door, they didn't have their masks on. And then 2 days later, I got sick. And I know I got sick from them. That was it. But the whole 3 years, whatever it was, I never got sick. Knock wood. So now.
Okay.
I have all the masks. I've got tons of masks.
Of having mold. What do you call it? Spores? Yeah. Wafting through the air.
Well, I'm going to.
It's not that far from where
right now we're actually being
within
heroes
striking
here.
Distance.
Yes.
Yep.
And Tyler too.
Okay, and we haven't gotten the report back. The guy said, and I trust him. He said it's like a 3 on a scale of 10 in lethal.
Yeah, they say black mold is worse. This was greenish mold, and I mean Mark, our electrician, he does big houses out here, and he said he had mold in his house where they had to knock down the walls and they had to move out for a while. So anyway, but it's not fun. It's
not fun, and she does tend to overreact, but sometimes in a life-saving way.
When I overreact, you benefit from it because you sometimes are ignorance is bliss, and so you just don't even think about things. And I'll say, "Hey, I did this and blah, 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 blah," and it saves our life. And then you go, "Oh, yeah, thank you."
Okay, but she didn't want me to run on the treadmill, which is not that far from the mold, without a mask on. And if you've ever tried to run with a mask on, it won't work.
I've been using a mask every day.
Okay, but I go hard. You walk, I run.
Well,
I can't breathe. I'm
know,
but
gag. What's better?
I'm going to fall off the treadmill.
Is it better to inhale mold, or is it better to walk and still do your workout but have a mask on?
Well, I gave it up. And I ran for an hour with no mask.
When I see you glowing, like
Right, I'm the human 3 Mile Island right now, right?
God forbid, knock wood.
Okay.
Anyway, so that's our mold story.
I don't know. So Ernestine shocked me last week when she suddenly announced to me she was getting a vaccination shot for, you ready for this? Mumps?
I felt very
You're
young.
getting vaccinated for mumps? What
like
are you, 3 years old?
I don't know. I went to get my physical, and then our doctor said, I'm going to test for measles because Dr. Cole, who we love, measles, I don't know if you're aware of it. I know you don't read anything outside of sports, but there's been a measles outbreak, especially in New York and all over. Okay.
Heard that.
All right. And he said, I'm going to test your antibodies. I said, really? He said, yeah, just to see where it's at. So when he called me with my results, which he said, you're perfect, everything, cholesterol, kidney, diabetes, all this stuff. But he said, and your measles, it's great. You still have antibodies, but you don't have any antibodies to your mumps. I said, really? He said, yeah, you need to get an MMR, measles, mumps, rubella shot. So I went the next day and I got it because I don't want to get the mumps. You sure he wasn't overreacting to the all-time overreactor? Because as soon as he said that, she's like, yep, what are you talking about? When I went there and they gave me the shot, she told me that I was the third person that morning to get a mumps shot. Wow. And they give it to you behind your arm, and it is the worst pain of a needle. It feels like a wasp nose went in your arm. Seriously, she said it's going to feel like a bee sting, but it felt like a wasp. It burned like heck, man. I wonder
if like a smallpox vaccination, it's going to leave a mark on your arm.
No, I don't think so. They don't. No, I don't think so. Because you have a mark.
I've got a mark on my left, above my left bicep.
That's from smallpox.
It's a smallpox, which you get when you're like an infant, right?
I mean, but see, my mother, I'm sure, gave me a measles shot. Every kid had to get it to go to school.
She didn't give it.
Well, but she didn't get it herself. But they wear off in time.
They do?
That's what I talked to my friend Jane yesterday. She said that they wear off, but that's what Dr. Cole said. Your antibodies. So that's why people, Laura, our friend who's the doctor in New York, she said she's been inundated with people coming saying, can you check to see if I need a measles shot?
Okay.
So maybe people should get checked.
Okay. But she said you probably didn't need a mumps shot.
Well,
you probably would have been okay without it.
But why
that
should
it's more for male than female?
Men.
Okay.
But my friend Francesca, the doctor, said that has to do with prostate. Something about the mumps could affect in men something with their prostate.
Okay.
So that's why maybe Laura said about
so I got vaccinated for everything when I was a little kid.
Yeah, me too.
Even though I was just trailer park trash.
Right.
But I got the vaccinations. Yeah. And then I had chicken pox. I had the measles.
I had the chicken pox. I have a scar.
I had the measles.
Right.
You had chicken pox.
I had chicken pox. I got the actual chicken pox.
Okay, and it's left a scar.
Yeah, I have a scar on my arm. It's a white mark.
Then I definitely had the mumps. So I had them all. And you're saying I could still get the mumps now if I'm not, if my vaccine is worn off?
Not sure if you could get them again. Well, wait, you had the mumps, so you didn't get a vaccine. No?
I don't know.
I don't know. I think you should just get your antibodies checked. What the heck?
Mold check, antibodies check.
After this, I'm going to get a mold check.
After a while,
I'm just going to go
every week.
It's not
even worth it anymore, right?
Oh, no, I need to keep it going. No. But I'm going to get a mold check. They test that with your blood.
God.
Well, you don't want to get anything.
I don't know. Live and let live.
Oh, all right.
If it's meant to be, it's meant to be.
I'm not going to leave my physical being to fate.
Well, you've had like 17 COVID vaccinations, right?
So I never got COVID until these two guys came in. Right. So you had COVID 2-3 times. I never had anything.
I had COVID once and didn't even know it. You're falling off the chair.
Right, but you had COVID and I didn't catch it from you.
Anyway. Hey, no, he's okay.
Whatever.
Okay. All right, this is Quinn from Syracuse, New York. They come from everywhere. Skip, you say a lot about all that you have given Ernestine or that you chose her. That's her least favorite verb.
Please.
Do you ever recognize all that she gives you? And maybe you're married because she chose you?
That is the smartest thing anybody has ever said.
Really? Quinn.
That I've ever heard in my life.
Gold star.
Seriously. Okay. Somebody has brains. That's exactly.
As opposed to me.
Yes. Do you realize all that, this isn't materialistic stuff. I'm talking about on a human level. I've enlightened you.
I'll buy that.
Yeah. In all different areas of life.
Okay. But what happened on our Valentine's episode? What did I say publicly to you and about you? What did I do? Do you remember it just went in one ear and right out the other, in one eye and out the other eye?
I don't know. You said something about choosing me again.
I did not. Something? I just gushed and spilled and unleashed about all that you mean to me and all you've done for me and how you're a saint with me because nobody on God's green earth
nobody on this planet
would
or
put
any
up
other
with
planet.
me except for her.
That's true.
Nobody. Trust me on this.
That's true.
I could never find anybody more loyal to me.
That's true. I am a loyal person
to the death.
End.
Loyal.
Stupid loyal. Yeah.
Now you really think you're stupid.
Loyal. No, I'm not stupid.
After a while, you just find it because after I went through the things with my ex-girlfriend's ex-wife, then got damaged a little bit, the loyalty. But we got through that. I'm definitely way past that and over that. And I cherish everything that you have meant to me in my career, in my life.
Thanks.
I say this every time and nobody believes me, but there's never been a Friday night that I didn't look forward to spending the entire night with you to the point we don't go out with other couples because we don't need the other couple because the truth is they're going to get in our way. Right. Sometimes you just like to see them and socialize with them because they're friends. Have some interaction with outside world
people besides Hazel.
Okay, and we have a checklist.
People.
I mean, we keep in touch with people. Okay, we
don't have
do
a million people. friends, but we have a small core group.
Okay. But in general, I only want to spend time with you.
Thank you.
And in general, my life is cut into two slices, one much bigger than the other, but one big slice of my life is professional.
Yeah.
And so I give my all to the professional, but I don't give any to the guys. I don't.
But that's your own fault.
Okay, I don't play cards,
but
play poker with the guys on Wednesday night.
To do that.
I don't go drinking
you.
with the guys.
But I tell you, why don't you go? Go play golf on a Saturday.
I do play golf on a Tuesday and a Thursday.
Yeah, but like sometimes your friends say, hey, do you
want
to come on a Saturday?
But they're not really with guys, they're with golf partners. You know,
well, they are guys. It's not like they're discounted as a person because they play golf.
It's not like they're bros, you know. Like,
well, you could go. Who's stopping you? You should go.
You?
Me.
Okay, every second
are you kidding?
I have.
This is in your brain. You think, oh, I can't go because I have to. She doesn't want me to. I'm saying go. Enjoy yourself.
Do
have
I
a
not
fun
give
time.
you every ounce I have outside of professional?
But then we go turn it around. It's the same exact thing with you. I'm not going out with girlfriends, hanging out, drinking with my friends at the local, wherever. I don't do that. So we hang together.
Okay, you do have a lot of guy friends.
But I do. But I'm not going out with them either. So we're equal.
I mean, you go to lunch with them occasionally.
Yeah, so what?
Well, I couldn't go to lunch with a woman friend.
Well, again, I've got a lot of gay friends.
Okay.
And I have some male friends that are not gay. But
and
they're
I don't
married.
Say a word.
But I don't care. You could come. It doesn't matter. You never want to go out with people. You just want to go with people that have a sports connection.
That's not true.
Tell me who you like
I chose
as a person.
You. There we go.
Chose.
What's another?
The horse.
Give me a synonym for chose.
I don't know. You should
what did
look
I do?
Up.
I did choose.
Look up the word chose and see what other words.
I selected you. Is that
no? I don't even know. I think the whole phrase is
because
bad.
She didn't know anything about sports, and I get worn out.
You liked me because I didn't have a sports background. That's really better. Mm-hmm. You liked me that I didn't have a sports background.
I liked you because you didn't cook. Because I came from a family of cooks, including my brother, who's world class restaurateur and chef.
Right.
And I got cooked to death as I was coming up, and I was the black sheep of the family who couldn't boil water or use the microwave. Yeah. So I liked it that
I could care less about
order
cooking.
out and we eat out.
Yeah. And again, I make tuna from chicken of the sea tuna.
Okay.
Make a sandwich, and that's fine by me. I don't care. I'm not a foodie.
So I had a little crisis last week. This is to how much you mean to me, and this may be a little thing, but it's a little big thing.
What happened?
I got my car washed on Thursday at my golf club where they do have a car wash, as I do every Thursday while I'm out playing. They wash my car. Right. It's great. And they had a trainee who cleaned my car that day. Right. And for some reason, he was possessed. I leave my garage door opener just in the passenger seat.
It's a little remote.
Yeah, it's just a little remote.
Yeah, it's like a clicker.
And I just leave it there because you don't like my car and don't like riding in my car.
I do like your car, but I don't. We don't really go anywhere.
But it's a hard ride. It's a little bumpy
and you drive really fast, and I don't like that.
It's 755 horses. It's like a rocket ship. Yeah. So she doesn't love that. No. It's not a smooth ride like her car. Yeah. And so I got home, and
then you had a flip out.
I had a flip out because ironically they were trying to move some carpet up to the elevator to go up to our unit.
Not to us, to the hallway.
It's to the hallway. And they had the carpet spread all over the garage floor, and they're waving at me like, you can't come in here.
Right, to park your car.
And then they said, okay, we're going to move it over just a little bit to give you a path to get to the garage door. And so as I got to the path, and they're all waiting, all the workmen are patiently waiting for me.
For you to park your car.
I reach for my garage door opener, and it's gone.
Right.
And the trainee had clipped it up to the visor, which was the last thing.
I mean, it was a pretty smart thing to do, but you would not have thought of looking at the visor.
I turned off my car.
So of course, who saved the day?
Okay, and I'm opening. It's a ZR1 Corvette, and I popped open the hatchback of it. I'm turning everything over, looking for the remote. I'm looking in the glove box. I'm looking under the seats. The seats are up and back and up and back. I can't find the remote.
Right.
And the carpet people are looking at me like, you've lost your mind.
Right.
And so I finally said, I give up. And
of course, and I'm coming back from, I don't know where I was going, somewhere. I was coming back and I stopped and I got a yogurt and I was eating the yogurt as I walked home. And I was just about to put the first spoon to my mouth and I see him calling me and it's like, oh God, panic, panic, packing.
You didn't think that. I might have just been checking in.
No, it was like, I go, hello? I can't find the remote to my car. Do you believe in the yogurt's like melting. Okay, I'll take care of it. I called the security gate. I said, can you please get down? He can't open it up. Within 2 minutes, they're back down there.
Like literally within 2 minutes.
And then I call you back to tell you that and you're still ranting and raving about this. Oh, the carpet guys, they were waiting. And I can't believe this. Do you know the remote?
She did.
And I'm like,
Okay, I can't tell you how many times I've called her on the fly in a panic.
I have saved the day.
And she always comes through. Nobody can get things accomplished quicker than she can get things accomplished.
That's true. I do. I do miracles. I do.
She does.
I'm very good at coordinating and getting things to happen.
So I'm saying nice things about you.
Yeah, I appreciate it.
Oh, pat me on the head. Okay, this is Kyle from Northfield, Minnesota. Northfield. There's a great Northfield, Minnesota raid by the James Gang, Jesse James.
Oh, really?
And those movies.
Yeah, I love Jesse James.
There's a movie called The Great Northfield, Minnesota Raid.
Really?
I think.
Oh, wow.
Okay. Hi, Kyle.
Wow. Hi, Kyle.
Skip, how does Ernestine feel about your heated debates? Quotes around heated, meaning sports debates.
Oh.
Does she ever take sides? Does she agree with your sports views and views on athletes? Well, this is what actually hurts me, like pierces my soul. She almost never agrees with any of my biggest, whatever you want to call them, opinions, takes, hot takes, whatever. I hate hot takes.
On different
I don't
athletes?
have hot takes. I just have opinions.
I mean, I like athletes, but you're liking athletes for a different reason than I like athletes. Yeah. I'm not looking at an athlete at his. I mean, I think it's really great when we watch a basketball game and I think, wow, look how great he's doing or whatever. But you have this, like what I learned when I first met you. I would say, we would watch a game and then I'd say, so what team do you want? And then you'd say, I want the blue team. Okay, the guys with the blue shirts. And then I'd say, the next time we watch the game, I'd say, oh, there's your team with the blue shirt. I don't want them now because I need the other team to win to do this. Then it became this chart of, even though you liked them last week, you don't want them to win this week because they have to go against this team and you want that team to win.
Makes sense to me.
Yeah, I only like a guy for, he's cute. He looks, I know a little bit about his personal life.
Like his physique.
He dresses well off the court, whatever. But I don't have the issues you do with these guys. You have issues with them, the LeBron issue. I don't hate LeBron. I think he's.
I don't hate LeBron either.
No, but he seems like a really nice guy.
That's the problem.
I don't
nice
have
to a
issue.
fault.
There's your issue. I don't have an issue with that.
Okay.
All right. I mean, there are other people. I like Jimmy Butler. Sometimes you like Jimmy Butler. Sometimes you don't like Jimmy Butler. I'm consistent with them. I like, what's his name from the Lakers, the Austin Reeves. Austin Reeves. I like him sometimes, but you waver on people depending on how well the game is. Like you'll like somebody and then you'll say, I can't believe he did that. What is going on with? I still like them consistently.
Okay. I understand, but there's some deeper sports layers and levels that I don't try to enlighten you on because I'd never force my passion down your throat.
But I have it. I have so much of it down my throat that
but you'll
if I go to brush my teeth and spit out the water, sports things come out. Honestly, seriously, I have so much sports in my head.
You'll walk in out of the blue and sit down for 2 minutes and rattle off, spit out an opinion that is completely counter to everything I believe about sports and life.
But I'm not looking at it the same way.
How could you say that?
But I'm not
and I always think to myself,
oh yeah, she's got
those
issues.
People who watch my show, who have watched me for years, if they could be here right now and watch this in action, they would be horrified and amused to the point of hilarity because they would know that you're just spitting all over my pet opinion.
I'm not. This is where I'm not a sports guy. That's the whole thing. I've never claimed to be a sports guy or girl.
I know, but that doesn't.
I mean, what do you want from me?
I want to put a sock in it. Just don't. I wouldn't walk into the middle of
Right, a Hallmark movie.
fashion discussion that you're having with Francesca, your best friend, and say, no, you're both wrong.
Right, I think
this
the lower
goes with
heel
this,
is better with that
and now
parent.
this day and age, you got to stop it with the skirts or whatever it is. I don't know. I would never do that.
But that's just a moment. Sports is just, it never ends. It's 24/7.
It is.
There's never a break.
Yeah.
Even Hazel knows there's never a break.
Yeah.
She's just, it's one game after the other after the other. I say to you, anything on tonight? Not really. There's only 17 games on, but they're not all good. But I may just have to keep up with them. I got to see what happens at the last quarter. That means we're watching them. We're watching them. So
I might follow them on my phone or my computer, and then we'll check in.
Right, and then in the middle, the climax of the show or the movie, he says, "I hate to do this to you, but I have to watch this last 2 minutes."
Hold, pause.
Okay.
Yeah.
There you go.
Okay.
So,
and she's been very good about okay.
And then I just give it up. Whatever.
But I'm pretty good at picking the last usually 2 minutes of the game.
But we're watching a movie for like an hour and a half, and it's just about to end. And he said, "Hate to do this. I got to check in."
Yeah. See if LeBron can clutch it up.
Leave LeBron alone.
Maybe he could find a clutch gene somewhere over on the bench.
Leave LeBron.
Okay. This is a comment from YouTube from @VVS Mixing. I think Ernestine crashing out over college players is a manifestation of her dislike of Skip watching NCAA every day. Okay, so you did crash out, as he says, over college athletes being paid, because they do get paid a good deal of money because they deserve it.
Right.
And we went back and forth in a heated sports debate about that.
I don't think that's the reason why I feel that way. I feel that way because I just look at the world and what really matters in life and what's important and how people get paid. And I just don't think that...
Okay, but you don't like March Madness because you think it's Mickey Mouse basketball because it's very amateur to her.
Some of them are just so, it's just pointless to watch.
Okay, and it's schools she doesn't know or have any feel for or any connection with.
None.
And it's Murray State against Gonzaga or whatever it is, and she's like, I don't know anything about
those are
this.
Endless. It's like,
who are these people and what are they doing?
And
her eye is well trained enough that she can readily see the basketball is not nearly NBA standards for basketball. And it hurts my eye.
Hazel can see that.
I know. Like Saturday, I watched NCAA games, Final Four games, the two semifinals. They're charging
the kids on the floor.
They're falling all over each other. They're gagging. They're choking. They're turning the ball over. They Duke couldn't get the ball in bounds.
It's just ridiculous. And you're going to give these kids $1 million.
Because we're watching.
You're watching. I'm kidnapped.
We are glued to it.
Right.
And then Sunday I'm watching Lakers at Thunder. Lakers smoked the Thunder, blew them off their home floor.
But that's a real game.
And it's a real basketball game, and you can see it because they actually, every March Madness game, it's like both teams shoot 3 for 21 from three because they're scared to death because of the magnitude of these games, and they are being watched by billions of people internationally on live television. And they can't buy a 3-point shot.
This is ridiculous.
And then I watched the Lakers at Oklahoma City. I can't remember if it was on national because I was watching on local TV. I think it was national. But the Lakers come out and make 22 threes, and they by halftime, or I guess in the first quarter, they made 10 of 15. So
that's a game.
It's like a whole different level of basketball.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
And if you watch LeBron and Luka and Austin Reeves pass the basketball and play off each other,
choreographed.
It is a thing of artistic beauty.
It's beautiful.
Yeah. So she loves the NBA. That. She doesn't love college basketball. And I do think subliminally, deeply psychologically, if not psychotically, she rebels against me watching March Madness just because I have to. And I don't love college basketball as much as pro basketball, but I only watch to see who can play pro basketball.
Right, and then you go into who's going to maybe make it.
Yeah, I want to see if Cooper Flagg can make the last shot. Does he have a clutch gene? No, I'm not so sure.
He's going to get drafted, I guess.
Well, he's going to be the first
pick
overall
of the
pick,
litter.
But he missed the last shot the other night, and you weren't watching.
No,
but that's fine.
That's okay.
I don't know what you were doing. Maybe you were out with one of your guy friends.
Yeah,
I
was out. Yeah,
whatever.
I was out.
Okay, this is at Lester Diamond 007. I'm with Ernestine that doctors, teachers, and police should be compensated handsomely.
Thank you. Thank
but we
you.
live in a capitalistic society,
Yes.
supply and demand. It's people willingly giving money to see these athletes like
There you
it
go.
or not.
That's exactly my sentiments.
People love March Madness.
I know.
They're
sad.
addicted to March Madness. It's be true to your school.
Yeah.
It's quote unquote, student athletes,
Yeah.
amateurs, Okay.
When they get sick, they go to a doctor.
And it's a great format because it's one and done.
Yeah.
You lose, you go home. And only one team is left standing.
They're the champions of the world.
This is at 6 Rings. Miss Ernestine just kicked Skip's butt. I'm a Queens, New York representative.
Go Queens. All right.
Shout out Queens.
Shout out to Queens.
Yeah. Oklahoma City is no match for New York City.
Thank you very much.
And we love sweet Hazel. Hazel, you got a little...
She loves Queens.
She's never been to Queens.
She says, I've seen it on the map.
That's a good girl.
My mom always talks about Queens.
Out. See, somebody
I got a bunch of friends that live in Queens.
Yeah? Do you?
Yeah.
Okay.
Long Island City in Queens.
I'm the king of Queens.
Not that Queens.
Oklahoma City over New York City anyway.
Yeah, right.
Right? Okay, now it's time for Skip and Ernestine go to the movies on our couch because we rarely go to the movies.
We used to go to the movies a lot.
All the time, but we don't do it anymore. So Friday night, we watched the current movie release, Black Bag with Cate Blanchett, Michael Fassbender. It's still in the movies, but we bought it for like
$22. Yeah, it was a lot of money.
Something on Amazon.
It's not a lot of
Prime,
money compared to the movies, but whatever.
You would give Black Bag what grade?
I would give it a B.
B? I thought you were worse than that. No.
Maybe a C.
C? Okay.
I was really excited. Tyler,
our producer,
he went to the movies to see it, and he loves it. It's one of his favorite movies now. He loves it. I love
Steven Soderbergh.
Yeah, Steven Soderbergh. I love both Fassbender and Cate Blanchett, but the end just got me. So it was very stylized and cool.
Very stylized, very cool, but that's what this director does. Okay.
And what would you give it?
I'll give it a straight B.
Wow.
I did like the complexity of the plot. It was very interwoven, complex, and intriguing. Spy versus spy versus spy versus spy.
It was good, except the end just got me.
Yeah, I understand. But Fassbender,
I love him.
You love him. I like him. I really love who he's married to.
Yeah.
Are they married?
Yeah, Alicia.
And Vikander.
Yeah.
There was something about him in this movie. He was like a robot, like an android.
I don't know. It's like that in a lot of movies.
He's wearing those big, thick black glasses. Yeah. And he's just an android doing his job.
Yeah.
And he drove me a little nuts because he, after a while, didn't seem real to me.
Wasn't he in that movie we watched where he was a hitman?
Yeah.
He was like that. That was a good movie.
It was pretty good.
I think it got overlooked, but that was, I don't remember the name of it.
Cold with these movies, and I can't remember.
But remember, it was good. He was the hitman. He was like a shooter. Can't remember the name of it, but that was a great movie. Yeah. This movie, not very good. The ending was just not very good. The whole movie was good because you keep waiting that you think it's going to have a different ending, and it has a different ending that you think.
The acting is first rate, except for Fassbender. If you like android acting,
sometimes he does that. He was in that Promiscuous. What was that? Promiscuous.
Prometheus.
Prometheus.
Not Promiscuous.
No.
What?
Prometheus? Was that it?
I don't know. You're just throwing movies at me cold.
No, I think that was what he was in, and he was like an android.
Oh, he was an actual android. Okay.
That was why he was like that character in this movie.
You think so?
But he was human in this movie.
Well, he's supposed to be human, but he had rat-a-tat-tat dialogue.
Yeah, it was. But if you want to see them in action, I think
the acting is first rate across the board.
Blanchett.
She didn't like the way Cate Blanchett looked.
Well, I think it was the character. She's got long, dark hair.
Extensions.
Yeah, I think it was a wig.
Yeah, wig, and it didn't really look like her, and she's had a little face work.
She's had some face work.
Yeah, she's got some.
But she's still good.
Her cheeks are shot up.
Oh, her cheeks are very plumped up.
Filler.
Yep.
She didn't look like Cate Blanchett to speak of, but she acted the way Cate Blanchett can act at a high Shakespearean level. She was very good.
Yeah.
In fact,
you're changing your letter.
She stole the show.
Oh, okay.
No, it's a B.
Oh, it's still a B. Okay.
No, I liked it. And I liked all the subplots
Suspense,
and all the other actors and the woman whose name I should have looked it up. But
she was good.
She was very good. Yeah, there are two women actually. They're very good. Okay. We also watched, or mostly I watched, Mobland on Paramount Plus. That's starring Tom Hardy and Pierce Brosnan and Helen Mirren.
Pierce Brosnan was in the other one.
He was. That's true. He was. He was. I won't say it.
Yeah, but he was in plot away. He was in that one.
Okay. So has Mobland now become a series I'm going to have to watch on the treadmill as I'm running on the treadmill?
It's so bloody.
I don't get your blood qualifications because if it's Clint Eastwood or
I'm okay with Clint.
Keanu Reeves,
very okay with Keanu.
Wick,
yes.
Any of those sort of blood and guts movies, blood and gore movies, that she's like, I love these guys.
And I love Tom Hardy. Yeah. I'm a big Tom Hardy fan. But this is just too bloody. It's too mobster. Real mobster.
Well, I mean, Dunkirk that he was in was war bloody, World War II bloody.
Yeah, I like Tom Hardy in that series, Tattoo.
Oh,
that was a great series.
A lot of people don't know it because it just came and went. And
they
should didn't
watch
get renewed.
That was a great series. And the movie he played with the guy from The Sopranos. Remember, he was like...
You got to look these up. So you have to do your homework for these shows.
He owned a bar in New Jersey.
Oh, it was good.
Remember with, what's his name, who died from The Sopranos, the main character.
With Tony Soprano.
Yeah, I can't think of his name. But anyway, James Gandolfini. That was an excellent movie. It's very good. I can do without.
But there was blood and guts in that movie, too. People get wasted.
Yeah, not as much as this. This one was a tough one.
Okay, so I like Mobland a lot. But it is what it is and what it's not.
It's ranked in tons of money this weekend. I just sent this to you. You didn't see it.
I didn't see it.
Mobland. Yeah, it's become like the number. Oh, you were?
Yeah.
Oh. It's become like the number one series.
Okay, but it's not at the box office.
No, but it's on
just
the series.
Okay, I understand it because it was enthralling because they are all psychotic.
Helen Mirren, Pierce Brosnan.
They're psychotic. They are completely,
crazy
utterly
family.
Without souls, all of them.
Yeah.
So you just have to give into it.
Yeah.
Their kids are psychos.
Yeah.
And you just roll with it and you expect
craziness.
Gory blood.
Yeah, and that it does not disappoint.
Okay. I'm there and I'm watching on the channel. Good. I got something to get me through my 1 hour trip.
Now your other one is over with.
This is Raymond from Gainesville, Florida, home of Tim Tebow once upon a time.
Oh, yeah.
With you both very restrictive in your diet, what happens when someone gifts you something that's with sugar? And what happens if the person expects you to eat it then and there?
I know. I've been put in that position a ton of times.
We have been put in it at many restaurants because sometimes they will
order the dessert and say, everybody get a spoon.
No, but sometimes they'll appreciate our presence at their restaurant. And so the owner will come over and without telling us, he'll send over a dessert.
Right.
And of course, the waiter brings it over like, this is heavenly.
Yeah.
This is the most delicious chocolate mousse or whatever it is you've ever tasted.
I won't eat it.
Okay.
You eat it.
Then I am compelled. I am stuck. I'm going to take a bite.
Yeah, you do it.
I'm going to take a spoonful or whatever it is. I just take it.
You're good with that.
And I wave to the waiter like,
you take it.
Because if somebody's going to do that, I feel like I can survive one bite of it.
I won't do it. I don't do it.
She doesn't do it.
But I've been given gifts from people.
Many times.
Cookies and muffins and
fruitcakes on Christmas.
Yeah, and I love fruitcake, and it's really hard. And people do that. Also, they give me wine. And
we give us
wine and we don't drink.
We have wine bottles.
Somebody offered us yesterday and said my family owns a vineyard up in wherever. I'd love California. To send you some wine. And I said, we don't drink, so I don't want to take it and waste it.
Good point.
It's a nice gesture, but I know it's terrible. And what really irks me is when people know that I don't drink and I don't eat big desserts, why they give it to you. I don't know.
It's a good point. They just think on a holiday, you'll splurge.
Maybe.
And we don't. We don't splurge on holidays. And she will occasionally re-gift nice packages of sometimes fruit that you eat more fruit than I do.
Eat
I don't
fruit
eat
all
a
the
lot
time.
of fruit.
I'm a big fruit person.
Yeah, but sometimes there's some fruits, grapefruit that you wouldn't eat or whatever.
Very rarely.
Whatever.
Pears, but I do like pears. But I
that's
can't
a
eat
good
a whole
question,
junk.
actually,
Yeah,
that we
true.
wrestle with.
It is true.
This is Kendall from Ithaca, New York, sort of up
Ithaca.
in your stomping grounds.
I know Ithaca well.
Skip, what is one trait of Ernestine's you wish you had? And Ernestine, same for you with Skip. Me first, you first.
Okay, you could go.
Okay. So, it's okay. It's okay. It's a little hot in here, I know.
Not hot. I feel comfortable.
I don't.
Oh.
Sweating like a pig.
Oh.
You make me sweat.
Oh.
From an NXS song?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. I could hear it in my head.
Need You Tonight?
Need You Tonight, yeah.
It's a good song.
That's
great
good.
Song. Okay. Look, the reason I whatevered her, liked her, the reason I'm with her is because she has a charm about her that is unmatched, unparalleled, unlike anything I've ever encountered.
Oh, thank you.
You got much of it from your mother.
Yeah.
And then you took it up a level.
Yeah.
But your charm just radiates with people. When you first meet people, they are smitten with you because of your charm, your charisma, whatever that intangible is. But I don't have that. My mom had it, but it was fake charm to me. Yeah. And yours is more real. There's some where you can play the game and be an actress. One time you told me in your PR job, you said, well, I'm an actress.
Well, you have to be. Yeah, I mean, when you're doing PR, you have to call somebody, you have to pitch somebody to be on a show, and you have to say how wonderful they are, and you may not like that person.
Yeah. So. But in general, I wish I had more of your charm. I can turn it on to some degree.
Yeah, you can.
And at the bottom of my heart, I'm a good person.
You're a very good person.
I am.
You're a very good person.
And yet, I don't show that bottom of my heart enough with people because I'm driven and I'm intense and I'm locked in and I take everything in my career too seriously.
That is true.
And so I wish I had a little bit of your lower RPM charm. Lightness. Because you can go light. You can laugh, you can joke, you have a great sense of easy humor. And I'm talking about conversational humor with people you don't know.
Right.
You can quickly make them chuckle.
Yeah, I get it.
With one of your jokes.
Yeah.
Making a joke. And it makes everybody feel better about the circumstance and it breaks the ice. You're the best icebreaker I've ever seen.
Yeah. Thank you.
And you have the best phone manner I've ever seen because you can call anybody, an airlines person, and charm them, and they'll become
friends by the time we get off the
they'll
phone.
be friends with you.
I've had people give me where you're not supposed to give somebody, like when you call an airline or a phone company, they're not supposed to tell you where they live. And I've had people send me their email, give me their emails, tell me their life story. But it's true. But thank you. I appreciate that. And then for you, there's a couple of things. One is when you say you're going to do something, you do it.
Thank you.
You are the most, I don't know what that is. It's just amazing. You can make a doctor appointment 4 months from now to the specific time and day. Me, I would cancel it and change it 100 times.
100 times.
You will crazy. Go, oh, I have that doctor appointment made last year. You were there. Do it. You're the most.
I'm going to change.
It doesn't matter.
I'm going to move everything around. I made this appointment. I'm going to show up.
You're very dependent. Like I'm dependable. I'm like very dependable in life. But you're dependable in that sense. I don't know if it's dependable, but you're very. That's why you could get up at 2:00 in the morning for 8 years and go to Fox.
That's
you're
true.
Very, no matter, and in ESPN, rain, sleet, snow.
I went.
Nothing. Botulism. Whatever, flus.
I had it all.
You had everything, right?
You surgery.
Had surgeries. What was the one that you got when you ate the fish? What was that? Not botulism. What was it called? Hepatitis. Hepatitis. The okay hepatitis, not the bad one.
Yeah.
You went to work, never missed a day. Like, that's not me. that's what I admire about you. Because that is like, nice. Blows my mind.
I read, you gave me
and
a
you
book.
have a good heart.
Thank you. I do have a good heart.
You do.
I appreciate that. So you gave me a book. It was a nice gesture of golf quotes.
Oh,
just quotes about golf the other day. You can just blow through it.
Yeah.
But it's very readable.
Yeah, it's good.
And I read a quote. Can't remember who said it.
Yeah.
Some great old golfer who, and I'm going to paraphrase it completely, but the point was, he said, if you can have a bad lie in the rough with nobody watching except God, and you don't improve your lie, which you can't do in the rough, you can't touch your ball, you can't make it better.
Right.
Okay. If you do that, you can be trusted in life.
Wow.
And I don't improve my lie in the rough.
No, you would never move your ball or anything.
If I'm competing with one of my golf partners and I snap hook one into the left deep rough somewhere, and their balls are both on the far side.
No, you're honest engine. You're totally.
And I go over, and I'm just buried. I can barely see the top of my ball. I'm not gonna foot wedgie
You'd never do
out,
it.
You know,
no, you would never do it.
I'm not gonna move it. I'm not gonna improve my lie.
You're a very straight arrow like that. So that's what I
got that going for me.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank
envy
you for
that about you.
I love you.
Okay, I love you too.
Got that going for me.
Yay. We have one.
This is Larry from, ready? Zimbabwe.
Wow.
All over
Never
the world.
Been.
People watch this crazy show.
Send us pictures next time. We'd love to see pictures.
We would, Larry. Okay. What's the most spontaneous or adventurous thing you've all done together? You all have done together. So spontaneous, adventurous. What would qualify to you?
We've done some crazy things. Well, spontaneous. When we lived in New York, you were the king of. There would be like a movie that just opened, like on a Friday afternoon. I'd be working from home, and then you would come home from work. And the movie, like there'd be a matinee and it's sold out around the block on 42nd Street. It's wrapped around the block 14 times to see this new movie. And it starts at 2:00. And at 1:57, you would say to me, hey, want to go to that movie?
I'd
say, it's sold out. Can we still get tickets? Let's go. And we would run and stand, on the line, where I would never do that. I would be like, no, I'm just going to wait.
I like to beat the clock.
Yeah,
I like to be up against
beating the clock.
I'm always on deadline.
You are.
So I want to beat the system. The system says you can't do that.
The movie,
and
I always say, what is the movie that I say that you were exactly like? With James Caan.
The Gambler.
The Gambler. If people don't know what The Gambler is, they remade it with, what's his name? With Mark Wahlberg. Yeah. The Gambler. He's always trying to beat the odds. And that's you. So we've done that. That was spontaneous.
I do gamble all through my life. Yeah.
Well, you gamble with your pride, but not with money.
No, but I got you.
Yeah.
I got you. So the point is that when it comes to spontaneity, that's one thing. But when we're talking about adventure, for us, we're out of the demo for this, but we did, was it now 2 years ago? We went to Lil Wayne's concert here
That was during
LA.
COVID. Because I was the only one with a mask and the security guard. Remember me and the security guard? And we went backstage I think Tyler was there. Yes. But we went backstage.
Yeah, look, we don't smoke. We don't smoke.
I don't smoke anything. I've never had a cigarette in my life.
Neither have I. And so we're in the green room or the hospitality
the holding room for them.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And it's packed with a lot of people we don't know, some we do know.
Yeah, a few people.
And she's choking on marijuana smoke because it is thick.
Yeah, you could cut it with a knife.
And so that's an adventure for us because we just don't do that.
Yeah, I would never do that. I mean, that's hard.
And then we go out into the crowd. We sort of stood off to the edge of the stage side. And it was COVID. It was at the end of COVID. And so I had the mask on. Yeah.
Nobody had a mask on except me and the security guard.
The giant speakers, gigantic.
Yeah, they blew our ears out.
Floor to ceiling.
Yeah, giant speakers where we were standing.
We're standing right next to one, and her ear is getting blown out by Wayne, who's a flat out powerhouse
he was
on
amazing.
stage.
He was
comes
incredible.
out a ball of fire.
He was incredible.
Like we know him really well, and we don't know that guy.
No.
Like, where did that come from?
But for him, I would do that. I would go do that for Wayne.
Yeah.
Nobody else would I do that for.
That night,
that was an adventure.
Was a crazy adventure for us. So that's about as adventurous as we ever get. We used to go to
Puerto Rico all the time and do some crazy things. We would walk to San Juan and
people are laughing right now because they don't think that's very crazy. But it's a long walk in 90-degree heat from our hotel all the way down to Old San Juan.
Oh my God, we would go to Palm Springs and you would golf in 120 degrees when they would make you sign
She would go with
They would make you sign the release that if you die on the golf course because it's too hot, you're not, they're not responsible.
I love 120 degrees. And she'll ride with me in the cart, but you just have to hydrate.
Yeah, drink a lot of water, but you're drinking water that
drink water.
You're walking and your stomach is going like that.
Sloshing along. Okay, this is from YouTube at Renegade of Funk 32. I like that name, Renegade of Funk.
That's good.
That's like Sly and the Family Stone.
Sly.
Yeah. I'm glad we get to see this every week. It's so wholesome to see a different side of Skip.
That's so nice.
The one we don't know.
That is true. That is true.
Thank you very much.
Drop
Renegade
the mic.
of Funk. Yeah, drop the mic.
That is true.
Okay, we'll drop it right there, right now. That's it for round 19 of Skip versus Ernestine. We will see you next week if we're still speaking.
Peace. We'll be speaking.